So we're just gonna jump right in where we left off last time. I'm just going through with the Dremel, scrubbing each one of the teeth, making sure that they're all clean. You know, trying not to miss any, but of course I am. But going through, getting all the edges, just trying to get everything that is visibly rusted. And then I'm moving on to this now, getting the rest of that old worn decal off, and then getting down to bare metal. Just so you know, if you're doing this, be careful. That Dremel, it has the wires on it, they fly off, they go everywhere. So God forbid you do this around where your kids play and one of them gets that stuck in their feet. So just always be cautious about the wires that are coming off of that. I'm just going through right now, cleaning up all the grooves in there. We're gonna go through and fill that with paint and everything later on. Then here's another method of cleaning this off. It's not going to get all of it, but it's just a wire wheel for a drill. Be careful, the wire wheel on this compared to the Dremel is a lot tougher, so you can eat through this cast aluminum. So you just want to be very careful while you're doing that. And using this method, you're not going to be able to get into those cracks and crevices. So you need to spray it down with some rust inhibitor, get that cleaned up in there, and make sure that all the rust is out before you go on to paint. Because if you paint this with all that crud and crap on there, what's going to happen is very soon down the road, all of that paint is just going to peel right off. And so you don't want a mirror finish on this. You want it kind of scuffed up, but you don't want any rust on there. I do use the Rust-Oleum because it does kind of help if you miss those corners. But if you're not really getting into those corners in deep, that's where your paint's gonna peel up the most, and it happens with even the best painters. So, I mean, it happens. So you don't have to really dig into it and get every inch of it clean, but I promise you it will turn out better if you do. That's all I'm saying on that. But I like the Dremel because you can get in there and really get in close. It's still missing corners, You can go in with a piece of sandpaper and fold it and really scratch into those corners. But this is really good enough for a winch. Being able to get really close into those corners it's gonna turn out nice. So either way, I'm not too worried about it. I just want to make sure and get everything that I absolutely can with this Dremel. There are definitely better methods to doing this, a lot quicker, but of course it's a lot more expensive. You could do the laser gun and of course have this done in 2 seconds. Whatever. I don't have $1,500 or how much ever it is to spend on a laser. But I am looking at getting a sandblaster very soon because that would be amazing and I would use it a couple times. Then I'm just going through putting in the cleaner. Agrosol is what I use. It's just a body solvent. It cleans everything. Making sure to get all the grease and grime off. Going back in again, making sure get all the corners. After I've cleaned it, I'll be able to see and know where all I've missed and see if I can get it with the Dremel. If not, You can go in with a pick, because at that point most of it's all just surface anyways. And then I'm going into the grooves of this, because you always want to have a nice clean surface where you're sealing. There's no point in, you know, half doing a job and then having to take everything apart just because you have one tiny little leak that you could have spent, you know, a millisecond on just making sure to go over. Make sure that everything's flat on that surface. It's going to be sealing. You can see how there is higher points. That's the points that really need to make sure to be flat. I'm getting in the agrosol again into there and making sure that it's nice and clean. I'll go into it a little bit deeper, but yeah. So to get this gear out, if you need to, it's really simple. You're gonna see where there's 4 indents over here. That's where a press presses down to squeeze that pin closed. Because this end, if you've seen it before, this is just going to be a ledge that pin sits in. So if you need to get this out, put some PB Blaster or, you know, something along those lines. It's a rust penetrator. And spray on both sides. You might want to kind of run a screwdriver around that to kind of open that hole up a little bit. But make sure that this is not obstructed, whether it's, you know, drilling a hole into a piece of wood and just making sure that you're right over top of it, and then taking a punch that you can get anywhere, and then just tapping that out. To put it back in, you would just put it in on this side and then tap it back in. With this moving so free, I wouldn't touch it. I'd end up messing it up more than fixing it. So, what in the heck is that down there? Oh, yeah, silicone. So, again, I'm not gonna be cleaning inside here. It's nice. I don't want to scuff that up and mess up this. So I'm just gonna take a rag and some. This is automotive cleaner Acrosol. This stuff will literally clean everything: carpet, headboards, footboards, sideboards, everything. It cleans it all. I love it. Not sponsored, gladly will be though. But yeah, just kind of get some in there. Clean it out real good. If you have compressed air, blow it out. If not, do not put any oil in this until that is completely dried out. Yeah, you don't want to defeat the purpose of oil in the first place. But you're just going to want to clean down in there real good. It doesn't have to be perfect. It's going to be filled with oil. You just want any dirt and debris out of there. So, I'm going to get into those corners. Those corners are a little bit rough. But I'm going to do that, and then finish the rest of these fins. and clean up a little bit more around this. Definitely wipe the gear off, but yeah, no, this top part's gonna be. So I want to keep the numbers, and since I don't have a punch, unfortunately, I think my best bet is just gonna be a screwdriver and a tiny, 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 tiny little mallet. That's almost too big. And then just kind of go along with it and just barely tap as you're going, and that'll mark that back out. So we're gonna do that, and then he got a new Warren sticker that we're gonna put on, and I think, yeah, once I get this tapped out, I'm gonna actually fill that with black paint so those numbers will stand out more. And then we'll put the sticker back on it, and then it will be all purty. Yup. So that's all of the Dremel that my sanity can take. So I just want to say thank you to all of my viewers that have actually made it this far. And I'm going to take the rest of that and go to my old shop where they have a sandblaster. And I'm just going to video sandblasting and everything. I'm also gonna go ahead and press out the bearings there, press in the new ones, and then go ahead and get that brake off and get it disassembled there. So if you want to watch part 3 of that, go ahead and subscribe and make sure that the notifications are on. But for now, y'all have a great night. I'm just gonna sit here and relax at my little fire. Have a good time, y'all. Bye-bye for now.